Good morning everyone. Myself is Kiran Mai, lecturer in physics working at Government City College. Now we are going to discuss about the continuation of the diffraction pattern Fresnel's class. Diffraction of a plane wave by a straight edge. The aim of this article is to make a more detailed and rigorous analysis of the diffraction of a plane wave by a straight edge. This situation is shown in figure where a straight edge and screen are placed parallel to each other and perpendicular to the plane of paper. P is a point on the screen where we want to calculate the intensity due to a plane wavefront striking the straight edge. Let the coordinates of P be O, y with respect to the horizon taken on the edge of the geometrical shadow. Consider an arbitrary point capital M on the plane of straight edge whose coordinates are denoted by x, y. The distance between the straight edge and the screen is D. The field at a point capital D can be calculated by Huygens principle. Now we consider an infinitesimal area dx dy and around M on the plane containing the straight edge. The field is proportional to A into capital A into e power ikr divided by r into dx dy, where A represents the amplitude of the plane wave in the plane of the straight edge. K is the propagation constant, which is equal to 2 pi by lambda. In order to calculate the resultant field at P, we take a summation over all infinitesimal area and replace the summation by integration. That is, U of P equals to C into double integral of A into e power ikr divided by r into dx dy, where C is a constant of proportionality and its value is given by minus ik by 2 pi, that is minus I by lambda. Hence, substituting that U of P equals to minus I by lambda into double integration of A into e power ikr divided by r into dx dy. From figure, r equals to mp equals to x square plus capital Y minus small y whole square plus d square whole power half. D into 1 plus x square plus y minus y square by divided by d square into whole power half. That is nothing but d into 1 plus half into x square plus y square plus y plus y whole square divided by d square. That is approximately equals to d plus x square plus y minus y whole square by 2d. Substituting the value of r from equation 2 in equation 1, we get u of p is equal to minus I by lambda into a by d into integral of minus infinity to infinity dx into integral of 0 to infinity exponential of ik into d plus x square plus y minus y whole square divided by 2d into dy, where in denominator of integrand we have replaced r by its minimum value d. Now we introduce two-dimensional variables u and v defined by the equations half pi u square equals to k into x square by 2d equals to half x square divided by pi d. Since k equals to 2 pi by lambda and half pi v square equals to k into y minus y whole square divided by 2d, that is pi by lambda d into y minus y whole square. Therefore, u equals to under root 2 by lambda d into x v equals to under root 2 by lambda d into y minus y. Therefore, from the above equations, du equals to under root 2 by lambda d into dx and dv equals to under root 2 by lambda d into dy. Dx equals to under root lambda d by 2 into du. Dy equals to under root lambda d by 2 into dv. Substituting these values, u of p equals to minus I u naught by 2 into integral of minus infinity to plus infinity expression of I pi u square by 2 into du into and integral of z r naught to infinity expression of I pi v square by 2 dv, where v naught equals to minus under root 2 pi 2 by lambda d into y and u naught equals to a into e power I k d, that is field at P in absence of a straight edge. In order to calculate the intensity distribution, we introduce the Fresnel's integrals. Fresnel's integrals. The above equation represents evaluated with the help of integrals C of s equals to integral of 0 to s cos pi v square by 2 into dv and s of s equals to integral of 0 to s sin pi v square by 2 into dv. The above equations are known as Fresnel integrals. Table gives us shows the numerical values. A graph drawn with C of s taken along the x-axis and the corresponding s of s along y-axis is a curve called Cornu spiral. The curve is as shown in figure. The Fresnel integrals having the following properties. C of infinity equals to s of infinity equals to half and C of 0 equals to s of 0 equals to 0. C of minus s equals to minus C of s and s of minus s equals to minus s of s. Therefore, integral minus infinity to plus infinity expression of minus I pi u square by 2 into du equals to 2 into integral of 0 to infinity cos pi by 2 u square du plus I into integral of 0 to infinity sin pi by 2 u square into du. That is 2 into half plus I half equals to 1 plus I and integral of v naught to infinity expression of I pi v square by 2 dv equals to integral of 0 to infinity cos pi v square by 2 dv minus integral of 0 to v naught sin pi by 2 v square into dv plus I into integral of 0 to infinity sin pi v square by 2 into dv minus integral of 0 to v naught sin pi by 2 v naught into du. That is half minus C of v naught plus I into half minus s of v naught. Substituting the above value, we get u of p equals to minus I u naught by 2 into 1 plus I into half minus C of v naught plus I into half minus s of v naught. That is 1 minus I by 2 into u naught into half minus C of v naught plus I into half minus s of v naught. For large value of y, a point which is far away from geometrical shadow, v naught would tend to minus infinity. Therefore, above equation reduces to u of p equals to 1 minus I by 2 into u naught into half plus I into half plus half equals to u naught. That is, the amplitude is the same as in the absence of the straight edge. Intensity distribution. The intensity distribution can be obtained with the help of the above equation. I of P equals to R square equals to half into I naught into half minus C of V naught square plus half minus S of V naught square. When the point lies on the edge of the geometrical shadow, then y equals to 0 and hence v naught equals to 0. Thus I equal to half into I naught into 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4. That is 1 by 4 into I naught. The above equation shows that on the edge of geometrical shadow, the intensity is 1/4 of the intensity that would have been in the absence of a straight edge. When the point P lies inside the geometrical shadow, y tends to minus infinity and hence v naught tends to infinity. Thus C of v naught equals to S of v naught equals to half and we get I equals to 0. For any other arbitrary point, we make the use of the table and calculate the right hand side of the above equation. The intensity variation is shown in the figure. Now next is diffraction of a plane wave by a long narrow slit transition to Fraunhofer region. Here we shall consider the case of a plane wave incident normally on a long slit and having width b. Our aim is to calculate the intensity distribution at an arbitrary point P on the screen as shown in figure. On the screen we have drawn the two lines M dash and L dash which represents the boundary of a geometrical shadow. Let the coordinates of P be O, y. The field at P will be given by R is equal to minus IA by lambda t into integral of minus infinity to plus infinity dx into integral minus b by 2 to plus b by 2 expression of ik into d plus x square plus y minus y whole square divided by 2d. Here the limits of y varies from minus b by 2 to plus b by 2. Introducing u equals to under root 2 divided by lambda d into x, v equals to under root 2 divided by lambda d into y minus y, v1 equals to under root 2 divided by lambda d into b and v2 equals to under root 2 divided by lambda d into lambda. From above equation we get u of p equals to I u naught by 2 into integral of minus infinity to plus infinity expression of I pi u square by 2 into du into integral of minus v2 plus v1 to minus of v2 minus v1 into expression of I pi v square by 2 into dv. As calculated, integral of minus infinity to plus infinity expression of I pi u square by 2 into du equals to 1 plus I. Therefore, u of p equals to 1 minus I by 2 into u naught into integral of 0 to v2 minus v1 cos of pi by 2 v square plus I sin pi by 2 v square into dv minus of integral 0 to minus of v2 plus v1 cos pi by 2 v square plus I sin pi by 2 v square into dv. U of p equals to 1 minus I by 2 into u naught into C of v2 minus v1 minus C of v2 minus v1 plus I into S of v2 plus v1 minus S of v2 minus v1. Thus, the intensity distribution is given by I of P equals to half I naught into C into V2 plus V1 minus C into V2 minus V1 square plus S into V2 plus V1 minus S into V2 minus V1 square. Shows the above equation shows the intensity distribution as a function of V2 for V1 equals to 0.5. When the slit width B is large, the intensity distribution is similar to that produced by superpositions of the intensity distributions of two straight edges as shown in figure A. As B is made smaller, the curve I of figure B shows the intensity distribution. It almost resembles the Fraunhofer intensity distribution due to a single slit. The resemblance becomes more exact when D tends to infinity. Transition to Fraunhofer region. When the screen is far away from the narrow slit, the diffraction pattern becomes as Fraunhofer type. When D is large, V2 is also very large, and we look for the expressions of Fresnel's integrals in the limit V tends to infinity. In this case, C of V equals to integral of 0 to V cos pi V square by 2 dV equals to integral 0 to infinity cos pi V square by 2 dV minus integral V to infinity cos pi V square by 2 dV. That is half minus integral V to infinity 1 by pi V cos pi V square by 2 into pi V dV. That is minus half minus 1 by pi V sin pi V square by 2 limits applicable to 0 to infinity plus integral of V to infinity 1 by pi V square sin pi V square by 2 dV. Half plus 1 by pi V sin pi V square by 2. Similarly, S of V equals to half minus 1 by pi V cos pi V square by 2. Since V square is large and V1 is small, C of V2 plus V1 minus C of V2 minus V1 equals to half plus 1 by pi V2 sin pi by 2 V2 plus V1 whole square minus half plus 1 by pi V2 sin pi by 2 V2 minus V1 whole square. That is 2 by pi V2 cos pi by 2 V2 square plus V1 square into sin pi V1 V2, and S of V2 plus V1 minus S of V2 minus V1 equals to 2 divided by pi V2 sin pi by 2 into V2 square plus V1 square sin pi V1 V2. I of P equals to half I naught into 4 by pi square r square sin square pi into V1 V2. Let 2 into I naught V1 square equals to I double naught, and pi V1 V2 equals to beta. Then I of P equals to I double naught sin square beta by beta square. This shows that the intensity distribution is Fraunhofer type. Next is Fresnel diffraction by circular aperture. Consider a circular aperture illuminated by a point as shown in figure. Let P be the point of observation on the screen. Consider the special case where S and P are on the axis of a circular aperture. That is, SP passes through the center O of aperture and is perpendicular to its plane. Consider a point M in the circular aperture surrounding by an area ds. Here, lenient to To use cylindrical coordinates, let xi of rho of phi be the coordinates of a point M as shown in figure. In cylindrical coordinates, ds equals to rho d rho d5, where phi varies from 0 to 2 pi and parameter rho varies from 0 to a, where a is the radius of the circular aperture. The field at a point P due to ds is proportional to 1 by r into e power I k r into ds. The field at ds due to source S will be a by e sigma into e power I k sigma. The distances r and sigma are shown in figure. Thus, the field at P would be proportional to a into sigma summation e I k into r plus sigma divided by sigma r into ds. Summation is carried out over the entire aperture. Using the cylindrical coordinates, the field u of p at P is given by u of p equals to minus I a by lambda into integral 0 to 2 pi into integral 0 to a e power I k into r plus sigma divided by r sigma into rho into d5. Integrating for d5, we get u of p equals to minus 2 pi I a by lambda into integral 0 to a e power I k into r plus sigma by r sigma into rho into d rho. From figure, sigma square equals to p square plus sigma naught square and r square equals to p square rho square plus r naught square. 2 sigma d sigma equals to 2 rho d rho and 2r dr equals to 2 rho d rho. D sigma equals to 1 by sigma rho d rho and dr equals to 1 by r rho d rho. D of sigma plus r equals to 1 by sigma plus 1 by r into sigma into d sigma. D of sigma plus r equals to r plus sigma divided by sigma r into rho into d rho. Rho d rho equals to sigma r by r plus sigma into d of sigma plus r. Substituting the value of rho d rho, we get u of p equals to minus 2 pi I a by lambda into integral of e power I k into r plus sigma divided by r plus sigma into d of sigma plus r. As the quantities r and sigma do not vary appreciable over the aperture, we may replace them by r naught and sigma naught in the denominator. Therefore, u of p equals to minus 2 pi I by sigma into a by r naught plus sigma naught into integral of rho summation I1 to e power I k sigma d of sigma, where sigma equals to r plus rho, sigma 1 equals to r naught plus sigma naught and sigma 2 equals to r naught square plus a square into half plus sigma naught square plus a square. U of p equals to minus 2 pi I by lambda into a by r naught plus sigma naught into e power I k sigma 2 minus e power I k sigma 1 divided by I k. From equation, another equation, sigma 2 equals to r naught into 1 plus a square by 2 r naught square plus sigma naught into 1 plus a square by 2 sigma naught square. R naught plus a square by 2 r naught plus sigma naught plus a square by 2 sigma naught equals to r naught plus sigma naught plus a square by 2 into 1 by r naught plus 1 by sigma naught. Sigma 1 equal plus a square by 2 into 1 by r naught plus 1 by sigma naught. Substituting, we get u of p equals to minus a by r naught plus sigma naught into e power I k sigma 1 into expression of I k a square by 2 into 1 by r naught plus 1 by sigma naught minus 1. That is u of p into 1 minus expression of I p into pi, where u of p equals to a into e power I k into r naught plus sigma naught divided by r naught plus sigma naught equals to field at p in absence of aperture. That is k into a square by 2 into 1 plus r naught plus sigma naught equals to p pi. Then a square into 1 by r naught plus 1 by sigma naught equals to 2 p pi by k equals to p lambda. Therefore, I of p equals to 4 I naught into sine square p by 2. It is clear that intensity is 0. Intensity is 0 when p is an even integer and integer is maximum when p is odd integer.